Okay, overlay in vector. All overlay means, of course, is just that we're looking at two different files and we want to make them interact as they would occur kind of in the same space. So where do they overlay or kind of sit on top of each other? And what do we want them to do when we want them to interact? And in vector, it's a little different than raster because in raster, our geography, so to speak, is just a pixel, and all the pixels should line up on top of each other. And it's just one value per pixel, so that's not too hard. In vector, though, we've actually got this problem where we have two pieces of information with every vector shapefile. We've got a geography, which is the shape on the ground that the file kind of takes, and then we have the attribute table. So for instance, here we would say we have one blue shapefile, it's just one file, but that file has two records, and each of these records has its own geography. And usually it's just one geography per record. Sometimes you'll get multiple geographies. That's called a multi-part feature, but we're not going to necessarily worry about that at the moment. So we've got the blue shapefile, which is record A and record B, and we've got the green shapefile, which is a separate file, and all we have there is kind of one record, and that's kind of this one geography of the circle. So let's try one overlay command. Let's try to intersect these. And if we're to intersect them, we're going to create a completely new shapefile. And this new shapefile, in some ways, is the product of only the places that these two files intersect. It's kind of every combination, taking into account the different records and how those records partake in kind of combination with each other, only where they intersect. So we've got in our new shapefile, we've got an A1 and a B1. And that means that these two attributes tables have kind of combined into this new attribute table that records all of the possibilities. So A1 means that this original record of this shapefile A combined with the 1 makes this sliver right here, this new geography called A1, and it takes on a unique shape that is the intersection of these two records. The next record that we see is B1, and that's this one right here, because we've got record B of the blue shapefile and record 1 of the green shapefile, and those combine to make B1. So intersect is pretty simple. It just kind of combines the records and attribute tables and geographies only in the places where there's an intersection. So what else can we do? Well, let's say we didn't actually care about making a new attribute table. We actually just want to keep our original blue input shapefile, but we just want to alter the geography. Well, that's called clip. So the blue shapefile, we're saying, okay, this is our input, but we want to clip the geography of the blue shapefile by this other file. So this is the clip feature right here. And when we clip, we're saying we don't want anything that doesn't kind of fall within this clip area. So it looks like an intersect, but our input feature is the blue one, so that's the only attributes that we, those are the only attributes that come through. Okay, what else do we have? Well, we could do what's called a union, and this means that we actually want to keep these parts that are on the outside where they don't intersect. We want to create kind of a master file that has all of the information of both of them together. And in a union, we get this kind of very complicated looking object. And this new shapefile, with the places where they don't intersect, there's no data, is what we would say. It's null, right? So for instance, this shape right here, we say, okay, well that's A, but this green shapefile doesn't partake in that, so it must be null. So it creates A null, right? Whereas here we go, here's our friend A1 that we've already seen, right? This shape right here, A1. So B null, hopefully you can guess. That's right, it's this one right here, right? B null, no data. B1 would be this one that we've seen already right here, B1. And then null 1 means that the one part right here says, okay, well, this is 1, but then it's not a part at all of the blue shapefile. So that has to be, nope, null. There's nothing in this attribute table and shapefile that can help us, but then the 1 is the only thing that partakes there, so it's null 1. A little confusing. Unions can be very useful if you want to kind of keep all of the geography information that you have, and then you can do kind of complex selections and things like that in the attribute table. Last thing we might do is kind of the opposite of clip. we might say, well, we want to take the difference. We don't want to alter the kind of attribute tables. We just want to take a byte out of this here. We want the blue shapefile to be kind of deleted here. Let's say this is a water feature or something like that, and maybe these are town files, and we're trying to estimate population or something. We would say, well, nobody lives in the water. Let's just kind of take the difference so that we can have the same attribute table just kind of minus the water. In ArcGIS, this is called erase. So what it does is it kind of just takes a byte out of the geography, but it keeps the attribute table the same. So that's kind of fast, but go look at the minute markers and hopefully you can see how that all works. So I'll see you in the next video.